and welcome to the midweek market wrap up with myself, Michael Nauss, chartered market technician from statstrading.com. What we do every Wednesday is we figure out, hey, what's happened so far in the markets this week? What can we expect going into the weekend, the next few days? Try to paint some sort of a picture. I can talk about some setups that I'm looking at. As always, go to statstrading.com, sign up for the email list. I'm working on some really cool stuff behind the scenes I think you guys like, and it will go to email subscribers first. So, without further ado, let's actually pop over here and then let's actually get into some Bitcoin as per usual right off the bat. Nice little breakout today and a solid little breakout of this range. So I'm going to be watching Bitcoin tomorrow and the next few days to see if we hold. We've had a lot of these kind of fake breakouts that have occurred before. You can see in through here when it broke this zone and then pulled back. It's a whole bunch of topping tails have occurred, but this candle only has 3 hours left. Unless something wild happens, it does look like we're getting a clean break here on Bitcoin over this zone. So if that's going to be the case, and that's going to take us to potentially test this high right here, I want to figure out a way on a shorter term time frame to get involved. So very interested on that side. I expected this bounce to fail and more downside to come. It's not what happened. So I have to adjust my trading accordingly. Looks like we're getting a breakout, so I want to be involved in that breakout. Take a look at the Dixie, the dollar index. Little breakout a couple days ago. I know a lot of people like myself were finally excited. Not so much that it took a move, but that it took like the move I wanted, but that it took some move. Any move at all for the dollar index for me would be interesting, where we have been simply chopping around for the last few days. So I was just looking and saying, hey, can we get something going? We've come back and we've tested this zone right here. So maybe we're going to start to push higher after this. But the dollar still continues to frustrate a lot of people, including myself. Now, what we would expect with the dollar popping like this is that that equities would start to struggle. But as I'll show you in the charts, it's not really what we're seeing right now. So a couple things that I'm watching, just FYI, I'm long this Euro USD, Euro GPP, so Euro pound. And I am because I drew out this big long area right here, and then we broke this downtrend line. So I bought as we broke this downtrend line, just kind of taking a bet that we may hold this area and start to push higher. But the beauty of playing support like this is that if I'm wrong, I know I'm wrong right away. Another trade I took today on the currencies was this dollar CAD, so betting bullish on the Canadian dollar. And the reason for that was simply this prior area where we broke down from. You can see we've been struggling here. We bounced off this today and we pushed lower. So I'm looking just to see if we get some continuation maybe into this zone I drew or even into this support area right there. So, short somewhere in here, a stop if I'm wrong right here, trying to get to here. Just a very simple, clean looking trade. Last but not least, I wanted to go Aussie yen. So Aussie yen, we've been fighting this overhead resistance I'll draw in here for a long time. So this zone from kind of this high right here and include these highs. And I talked about how I completely fumbled this trade. I was waiting, I was watching, I actually shorted, maybe I'll show you my MT5. I actually shorted this breakdown right here. And then there was a lot of volatility intraday, and I exited the position, which, just always going to talk about when things don't go my way. Just to show, hey, everyone's human. Didn't follow my rules. I had a nice tight stop up in here. The plan was just to let it go. And then we fell really hard the next 2 days, so I was kicking myself in the butt a bit. But the synopsis is still there. It looks like we're failing off this resistance. So it's time you emotionally pick yourself up and say, well, that was stupid that I did that. I shouldn't do that anymore. And now I'm watching this potential bear flag going on. If this breaks down lower, it could be a continuation of the sell-off. That could be my second kick at the can here. So now getting into trade ideas where we're going to talk about the equity markets. I want to start, as always, with the S&P 500. So we'll go SPY. And you can see a new all-time high today. Not what you see in bear markets. So we're breaking out to new all-time highs again. Semiconductors, as always, you can see this list I have above my head, leading the way with another new all-time closing high breakout on semiconductors. Oil, which I've been talking about for a while, is actually digging in and showing some teeth here. So this is the zone, this $60-ish area that I've been watching on oil. Looks like that might be holding. If I can get some sort of setup on the daily chart to play off of, I'm definitely going to do that. However, I want to look at DAI. This is the Dow as opposed to the SPY. And you can see the Dow has not been able to make a new high and is actually struggling. Some believe the Dow is a leading type indicator. Same if we look at the Qs, right? It's still good, but not nearly as good as the S&P 500. So we'll go down the cap scale like we normally do, and we'll take a look at MDY. These are our mid caps, or smaller companies. Still looking like a potential bull flag here, but not able to get going yet. And then IWM, which is our small caps, but there's 2,000 names in this, doesn't look that great at all. And someone actually tweeted it to me, and as you can always go to Michael Nauss CMT on Twitter, and you can tweet at me and I'll answer for sure, was asking me about IWM, and I brought up the chart, I zoomed out a while, and this 200 level on IWM seems huge, right? It was resistance right here, and then here, and then here, and then we broke it a little bit, and then we sold off. So if we can get and hold over 200, then I'm more interested on IWM, but I'm just seeing some of this weakness. If you've been following me for any length of time, I've been talking about the RSI divergences that I've been seeing in the charts. Just a lot of things have me not worried, but to the point where I think it is definitely possible that the market could pull in here or then rest for a period of time. So what I've been doing, and a couple trades that I've taken, is looking at one of these scans that we have in Trade Ideas. I'll bring it up here, which I really like, which is failure to break resistance. We have one that's failure to break support. Basically, it's an algorithm that looks for a established support and resistance point, looks for the candle to break that, but then fail right here. So you can see YWM, you can see I entered a little bit here on the close. The basic idea is that I want to be short against this level, knowing that earnings happened. We had 4 times relative volume. It tried to push up, and then sellers came in and pushed it back down, right? That's a disappointing thing to have happen. Wix, I was looking at, never ended up entering, but this is the same kind of thing. And then S, I actually did enter some. I think it must be another broker. It's not showing here, but the same idea, not Sprint. That's how old I am. S used to be Sprint. Sentinel 1. The idea is, again, it broke this area right here on increased volume, so 1.4 normal volume, and it broke and then it failed. So I think there's an okay trade to be taken against this level right here. If we do fail, it goes forward. And that's what I'm looking for some short continuation. Again, if the market stalls or if the market sells off a bit, I think I have a chance in doing well trading against these highs that are failing. So as always, thank you all for coming by. I appreciate it very much. Make sure you go to statsedgetrading.com, sign up for the email list so you don't miss any of these. Like and follow and comment and retweet and all of those things that all of the algorithms love. I appreciate you guys very much, and have a good one.